Where you mentioned activism. Tell us a little bit more about.
Yeah. So I think the first real project I got on as far as like community work was in 2012. I released a mixtape called Nehru Jackets, and I was working with a friend of mine named Ali Najmi, who ran for city council in Queens, and we grew up together in Glen Oaks and Belrose. My family, we started in Flushing, moved to Glen Oaks and Belrose. Now we're in Hicksville. And when I was releasing a project called Nehru Jackets, I wanted to figure out how I could use my platform to help the community. And what we realized was that Richmond Hill and South Ozone Park were cut into 7 different assembly districts. So all the other neighborhoods were taking the populations to put into their district. And what that means is we didn't have a representative that represented just Richmond Hill and South Ozone Park. And you know, because a lot of people in that community are Indo-Caribbean or South Asian, you know, we realized a lot of us weren't engaging the institutions around us and the government to kind of get the resources we need for our community. And part of that was because we didn't have a representative in the area. So we started petitioning city councils, we started petitioning New York City, we started getting press in the Daily News, we were on New York One, and eventually they did unite Richmond Hill and South Ozone Park, and they united Richmond Hill and Belrose in another district. So we were able to use music and use art as a platform to actually make change at the political level. And then more recently, we realized Punjabi Delhi in Manhattan was losing business because the city had construction in front of them and it was going slowly and there was no taxi stand, so a lot of their customers couldn't eat there. So we went to different meetings, we started again getting press, starting community work, and now there's a taxi stand on Avenue A in Houston, so their customers can go and eat there, and they sped up the construction, so now you can actually walk into the place.
Very nice.
So whenever I have an opportunity to help the community in New York City, and you know, help like uncles and aunties I grew up with and just kind of do something, I try to use my platform. Because a lot of the thing is that you can be on these TV channels and be, you know, in newspapers and stuff, but if you don't use that to do anything more than say, hey, look at me, then it's kind of useless. So I try to use those platforms to enact actual change for our community.
Give back to the community.
Right. Just be a voice. Let them know that we're here and we're not all just like, you know, this stereotype of that they see as like a quiet, docile student who doesn't really, you know, speak up for themselves. And so since they give me a microphone, that's literally my job. I use the microphone to speak up for our community.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about your partner, Riz MC. He, I believe, is going to be, he's an actor as well, right? You're an actor, he's an actor. I believe he's going to be in a Star Wars. He's going to be in the new Star Wars movie.
Hey YouTube fans, I'm Tanuja. Thanks for checking our YouTube channel. Subscribe to watch the latest interviews, ITV's coverage of feature events, and digital exclusives. And don't forget that you can get ITV on Time Warner, Cablevision, and RCN.